in explaining music, it's much better for the sound of music itself to explain. But words you try, but it's still, it's difficult to explain. We could take, for instance, one of Ornette's old compositions, The Sphinx, which is a melody. Now you take the first phrase like, that's one statement that's saying, and then the next phrase is actually echoing the first phrase. I put them together. So you're complementing the first phrase, and the next phrase is complementing the first two phrases. And then you have a sequence, and then you have the final resolution, and you put them all together, and you have the phrase which is saying one statement, but each within the one statement you have the little statements. And when we're speaking of harmonic, we're speaking of melody and harmony. And a good example is when Ornette would write a melody, and we would learn the melody and play it in unison together. Then he would write harmony to the melody. And as I would be playing the melody and the harmony that he would write, the harmony itself would become the melody. And the melody that I would be playing would become harmony to the actual harmony melody. You can hear that in a composition like Skies of America, where you have a whole orchestra doing this, where he's written harmonies to the first theme. And that's what makes this particular piece so full and total in music today. And he is actually, for Western music, I'm thankful to live in a period where that there is a musician as of Ornette Coleman that has this quality of having notated music to sound as live as the time you're hearing it. Because usually notated music sounds written. But this particular concept is to bring the liveness and the spontaneity of sound in the phrases that he writes in compositions. Mm-hmm. Like you say, there's people that have to label, you have to put it in a can and it has to be labeled. One funny story is one of the first free jazz concerts that we played was in Cincinnati, and it was a double quartet. And it was advertised as free jazz, and everyone came to a free concert. So we actually never played that concert. But that word free jazz, avant-garde, and even contemporary is just a way of trying to say now. We must hope that the music always has the quality of nowness. And there's certain music, like you can say there's folk, there's classic, and there's devotional music. But there's certain musicians that in our lifetime, such as John Coltrane, where their music had all three qualities. Well, at that time, Don and Walter, we were all studying together with Ornette, and it was the beginning of him starting a group together of making this record for his material to be heard. But actually, the concept really develops the way it has developed because of not playing with the piano. They're giving form and certain direction and chords. You have to make up for that in your improvising. Mm-hmm. So the improvising is also of improvising forms, of creating new forms, because we were used to playing certain bars or certain chord patterns, and from the experience of learning the standard chord patterns, we could be able to improvise and create other forms, and playing with musicians that are sensitive enough to be able to hear the direction that you're going and to complement it and to either go that direction or creating another direction to inspire you